When an anonymous abuser targets you online, the instinct is often to retreat. The attacks come from nowhere at any time, leaving you feeling entirely exposed and powerless. It is easy to assume that because the harasser is using a fake name, or because you work in a public-facing profession like sex work, the law cannot help you. We are going to walk through the exact legal roadmap used to protect your identity, strip away a harasser's anonymity, and secure a high court injunction. An injunction is a formal court order designed to legally restrain a perpetrator from continuing harassment. Before we begin, there is an immediate action you must take. Stop deleting the abusive messages. A troll relies on the illusion of digital invisibility. Once we apply the proper legal mechanics, that perceived invisibility becomes their greatest vulnerability. Step 1 takes place on your own devices. The High Court requires physical proof of the abuse, which means we must meticulously preserve every digital interaction. This means taking screenshots of abusive messages, downloading anonymous call logs, saving URLs of fake websites, documenting false medical allegations, and the misuse of intimate images. A judge relies on this raw data to evaluate the severity of the privacy breach. The natural psychological response to receiving abuse is to delete it to hide the pain. The legal requirement is to document it to prove the distress. These preserved texts, images, and links act as the foundational currency required to secure high court intervention. Step 2 addresses the most common barrier to taking action: the fear that going to court will expose your real name and private profession to the public. Because the court system is generally public, your solicitor can simultaneously file an application to the High Court for victim anonymity. If granted, the court uses a cipher, a legally binding pseudonym, to replace your real name in all public records. This 3-letter code cascades across every official form, locking your actual identity away from the public eye. The legal framework allows you to prosecute the abuse you are facing without weaponizing your own identity against you. With your identity secured, Step 3 targets the harasser, hiding within the infrastructure of the internet. To break their anonymity, we use a specific legal tool called a Norwich Pharmacal Order. This is a court order designed to force a third party to disclose the identity of an anonymous wrongdoer. This diagram illustrates how the order works. It legally bypasses an internet service provider's protections, compelling them to hand over the underlying IP addresses and identifying data attached to the troll's account. The provider then transmits this securely to your legal representative. Absolute online anonymity is a myth when met with the right legal subpoena power. This photograph shows the Royal Courts of Justice in London, where these abstract digital disputes become concrete legal victories. Even if extensive efforts fail to reveal the harasser's true name, solicitors can still apply for an injunction against persons unknown. This exact strategy was utilized in the precedent-setting case of GYH versus Persons Unknown. An anonymous individual targeted an escort, creating fake websites, tagging pornographic videos in her name, and spreading malicious false allegations regarding her sexual health. Mr. Justice Warby ruled that advertising services on the internet, even as a sex worker, does not mean a person waives their right to privacy in other zones of their life. Maintaining a public-facing or commercial digital life does not legally justify private digital harassment. The process is methodical. Your evidence is secured, your identity is protected by a cipher, and the legal mechanisms are prepared. Your final instruction is to take the screenshots, call logs, and URLs you have saved and compile them into a single documented evidence file. You then transfer this file to specialist harassment lawyers. They will use it to officially initiate the injunction and contact the tech platforms on your behalf. The transition from a powerless victim to a legally protected claimant begins the moment you make that call.